What's up guys, it's Black and back with part 4 of RAGL in review. This week we have the matches against Creo and Sigil, and we'll jump right into them.
Battle control initialized. Building.
Alright, so we are here on the first match against me and Creo on Yukon territory once again. This map was played actually more than I expected in Masters Division. It's a kind of an old map, but I guess people liked it enough. The situation was pretty much determined who would be top 4 was already done. It was definitely going to be me, Creo, Fazar, and Cav. The order just wasn't 100% sure which one yet. Creo, I think he'd only lost to Fazar at this rate, so if I had won 2-0 here, or Creo had won 2-0 here, I'd probably secure first for one of us. I don't think he had played Cav yet. I think that was one of his final matches, but these were like my last 2 matches between Creo and Sigil. Were closing out my group stage. So fortunately, my surgery date got changed, so I was going to be able to play in the playoffs, so that was nice. Didn't have to worry about forfeiting getting all the way there, but this map, it was just kind of... Creo had, I don't know, he beat me in like ladder on some weird games before, and that was like the last time I really played him, so typically I'm more of an aggressive player, but just how big this map is and everything, I kind of went back into a more passive route. That was kind of my strategy this game. So I was just kind of content to sit to my base, send a few rifles out to that hospital, but I wasn't going to plan to do anything major at all. And Creo was trying to snipe an engineer there, which he barely missed. It just got lucky on the rally of the engineer there. But yeah, so I'm just going to double ref here. Can't do the ref cell just because the way the ORA layout is. And just slowly crawl back to the third patch. But yeah, just keep all my stuff in my base. I don't think Creo's a very aggressive player at all. He's usually passive and not somebody want to take into a long game with tech, since he tends to be pretty good there, but it's kind of funny. He was expecting me to be passive, or he was expecting me to be aggressive, and so that can kind of throw people off when you're completely eroding away their expectations. So this passive play is going to be, I think, a little bit better than my aggressive play would be against Creo. That said, I mean, obviously if I'm still an aggressive player at heart, so if I see an advantage, I'm going to take it, but I've been trying to walk back my aggressiveness just a little bit, and it seems to be better. It seems to switch it up on people a little bit too, but for now, just keep all my stuff in the middle, keep up some rockets, literally do nothing fancy. I'm not even going to go capture a hospital with an engineer. I'm probably just going to place that on my backs just to see if I can get like a backside scout in case he has like grenadier or something like that, which again, it's Creo, it's not likely, but you never know. Also going to go SD first again, because again, this map is on the lower side of eco and a little bit weirder. Definitely need to get your eco out a little bit quicker, otherwise you're going to start stalling and have a bad transition into macro. And then a flat first just to do some scouting for that engineer, which I do decide to go for that hospital. I mean, it's just safer that way rather than trying to take it in the early game and lose an engineer. I think I've lost it every time I've played this map, trying to go for a hospital early, so I'm going to send one of these harvesters down there. I think once again Creo scouts my base, but since I'm so passive that like I'm already on top of it. But he does get a really good scout and sees exactly where my war factory is and everything. That's pretty good. I don't think he saw the ref there, but he should have a general idea. See that he captured the hospital down there, which is fine. I'll just decap it, and I have the flak there anyways, so if he tries to dive with the ranger, I might be able to pick it off before he gets there, but he could have a good angle of attack, just get out there easily, and if it's a light tank, then both those units are dead. But I'm not super concerned with the light tank. It should probably be coming out just about now, just getting close to there, but Flax can't really outrun light tanks, so it's unfortunate if he did, but I can't even remember if he was allies or not. I don't think he was this game.
Unit ready.
Queuing on rifles and rockets. Just 15 and 5. That's too fancy. Again, I'm just gonna slowly kind of macro up and slowly get out of this game.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
MCV is 20 seconds away, and I'm, pretty much exactly where I should be in build timing. So he's gonna be about out at right around 410, 420, and I'll get that expansion probably around like 445, which is not terrible on a map with large expansions like this. Because of my war factory placement, I'm actually gonna go to the right first, I think. That's where my flak is scouting there. It's going to be easily enough that I can just use the flak to scout there, rather than have to take my whole army. And, expanding to that corner makes it a little bit easier to protect, since it's farther away from your opponent, rather than expanding towards the middle, where they're likely to be. But building that power plant, just dropping it, and then getting that ref on that nice 5-second quicker build time to move that MCV out. Just gonna help that ref get placed a little bit quicker than it would be. I mean, I probably just could have moved the MCV, but again, anytime you can get the build speed bonus, it is nice. Got my first heavy tank out, and just kind of still just chilling my base, not doing any scouting or anything really, just totally macroing up, playing a really passive game right now. And that Fox in like a really good position to just spot anything that comes along, and even got a flame tower there too in case he comes from the backside of the north. But now that I got a tank out and that second one comes out, I'm probably going to be more willing to move out since it's a good number. At least 2 tanks is probably what you want. Anytime you move out, 1 tanks just go by so quick, you know that you're doubling your armor bonus, which when you have that much infantry, that can make a huge difference. Decided not to go straight to the double mine in the bottom, just to go for that single ref in the middle and just kind of control a little bit more that way. And again, that's just a more passive route. Like having this ref in the middle right here is just gonna give me more scouting information. Poke hole with the flak and see that he did go there, which is fine. I'm gonna switch my rallies to that top right expansion just in case he wants to push there. He's scouting with his flak on the bottom, so chances are we're mirroring each other right now, and I'm not really willing to get into a big engagement right now. Just kind of deathballing. Switching my rallies back since I haven't seen anything getting chased by that flag. And then something I do like to do is with that 1 tank off with a little bit of infantry. This one's got a little bit much. I think it's got like 4 rockets and 5 rifles with a heavy tank. That's definitely overkill for like harvester hunting or anything like that, but it's totally fine. Just shoring up the middle defense right there, kind of switching my flak since I'm rotating my army over because I'm expecting to hit his expansion. That flak's just going to cover my backside a little bit. Accidentally got a bad W select on that heavy tank, so I have to pull it all the way back again. It's alright. My flak unfortunately got attacked by that rocket, so it's going to lose out. I'm going to rotate my armors back because I don't know if he saw my heavy tank over there or if he was just having an army over there, but since I am deathballing heavy, I kind of have to play that reactive game of kind of keeping my army positioned in the back. At the same time, I'm going to re-rally my barracks just the top right, just in case he does attack there, so I have something to protect me. That's also why I'm placing those flame towers there. And now is about a good time to actually expand and take my final expansion on this map. So he scouts me with my flak, so I was like, alright, well that force is definitely spotted, so I'm just going to pull back. But right about now, I see him hit here with 2 flame tanks, or 2 heavy tanks, and a pretty significant amount of army. I mean, it's not his whole army, but it is a significant chunk. Go ahead and got that harvester out of there, which I didn't even know if he'd go through the trees right there. That was actually interesting. Got my double ORA factory up right now, which is really nice. And he's just kind of killing that ref. He killed, I think, a flame tower and maybe a barracks too, but nothing significant. See that I have another split on the top, so kind of less deathballing now. And unfortunately, my tanks are in a really bad position there in the middle. I have to pull them all the way back. Yeah, it's kind of a bad under attack to go for the door, but I don't really have a choice. See a huge army down in the bottom, says that, alright, that's great to see. That means he's either deathballing or he has a significant chunk there, which, you know, I have 2 war factories and a bunch of tanks coming on that left side, so I should definitely be okay right there. See more tanks in the middle, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut that off. My little flank over there is doing nice, then I see a pretty big infantry attachment there, but for some reason he was on a move command, so I just clean all that up for free pretty much. Those 2 heavy tanks are just going to die. Maybe one of them will get away, but they shouldn't with the rockets there. Get a harvester on the backside, that's great, that's exactly what I want to see with that. Both those heavy tanks managed to go through and then go, oh, he took my war factory, good thing I have a second one. But yeah, he had a very sneaky engineer there and I completely missed it. Even have the engineer scout on the backside and somehow missed it, but kills 2 engineers on the backside, he steals my extra war factory. Nothing I can do about that, but at least I have the second one. But at this rate, you know, I was pumping out extra heavy tanks for a little while, so that's going to be nice. Now that my attack on his ore field died, I switched my rally points back over there just because that's likely where he's going to hit next since I have this huge army in the bottom. And then, of course, he attacks my expansion in there, which, you know, I was completely ready for it. I might lose a harvester, but he's going to lose a lot to do that. Send that engineer just cap hopsel, see if I can do something similar to him, but yeah, I'm more than happy to let that army go. You know, I've got flame towers if I really need them, and I got that little infantry detachment on the outside of my base right there that should be able to clean that up. But yeah, I've definitely taken the army advantage here, so I know I can push a little bit more readily. And I'm kind of actually getting killed on the backside, but that's alright. You see some V2s there, they both miss, unfortunately, for him. But I'm more than happy to have that. And yeah, I've got a pretty good angle of attack here. My tanks are a little far forward, but once that infantry gets in range, that'll be totally fine. He's got a yak out. I don't even target fire, just kind of let it lazily get attacked. And another V2 shot. Scatter command. He misses. I think his second one to miss again. He's attacking here on the backside like I expected. Does get 2 archers, which is great, and he's attacking in the middle. So he's all over the place, but at the same time, since I'm deathballing so hard that I'm going to be able to clean this base up rather easily. Kill his radar, which is always nice to see. And just kind of split my army, make sure I kill all the individual buildings. Got another second war factory out again, and once again he's attacking my main base, but I had a bad W select on my harvester somehow, and they all went down south, which is really great. But yeah, I mean, he's done some serious damage to me, but at the same time I have such a large army that he can't really defend it unless he retreats everything, so it's kind of a base race scenario, but I'm just in a little bit better position. Defending my main base a little bit, and then he's trying to come in here my MCV, but I got a flame tower ready, and that infantry detachment finally made it back, so doesn't even kill the flame tower before he gets pushed back. Now I'm just trying to recoup my economy by building more refineries. There's his infantry detachment on the top again, but again, didn't have a harvester there, so I got really fortunate, really lucky. Have enough infantry up there that it should be able to find. And I'm just reclaiming my main base with my main MCD. The heavy tank's gonna go down. This force is about to hit his main, and I just don't think he has enough. Checking to see if he has an army there. See some heavy tanks, see a little bit of infantry detachment, so I have a good idea of where his army is going to be sitting, but again, I'm feeling more than comfortable being able to deal with that. And it doesn't look like there was that much there at all. Haven't really lost too much, and I'm going to kill pretty much his main base for free. Goes in and tries to sell off, and you know that's always a great sign if you see them sell it off. So it either means they need the money, or they just don't have it to hold it, and so they don't want to give you the bounty on it, or the experience. Yep, there's his main MCV that chased all the way to the corner. This time it's not going to get away, and I got a pretty significant army in the top right, and he goes in and calls it GG. So pretty straightforward passive game. Just he attacked me and split up a little bit, and I was able to defend, and then it's just he couldn't fight the death ball. It's very common in this game, and it's one of those things where you can just misread that I'm death ball and then you'll lose, or you know, if you split up early enough and defeat the death ball and make them chase, and you'll win. It's kind of those rock paper scissors things that aren't necessarily great about the game, but you know, the best way to counter that is proper scouting and keeping an eye on their army, which he tried. I mean, he ended up missing my army a few times and caught the little detachments that really kind of maybe threw him off. So scouting is not perfect. It's actually really hard to do, and as Soviets with the flak trucks, it's really hard to actually accurately scout. It's a little bit easier with the Rangers and Allies since they're faster and everything and have a bigger range, but it is what it is. We'll jump to game 2. Alright, so we're back here on game 2. I'd already, like I said before, if I managed to go 2-0 here, that'd probably secure first, or maybe at least second for me. Creo was undefeated unless he played Fazar, which they split, so it might be a little bit spoiler, but I think they had already played. But winning that first game is nice. It kind of takes some pressure off you a little bit, and you can just try something a little bit more fancy. So because of that, I'm deciding that I want to do my my light tank crush build on this map, which since there's so much eco, it's actually going to be pretty nice since I'll not have to worry about stalling. And I get that extra power plant too, which kind of transitions a little bit easier on the build for me. So yeah, when I do this type of build, I really like to queue up early infantry like that and then just pause after I get the amount of rifles I want out, and that's just so I can focus more on the attack rather than having to jump through my queues. So I'm going to pause that medic about halfway, and then once I feel like I'm ready enough that I can start my infantry production, I'll just start that medic again. I'll be totally good. Yep, I'm just gonna go jump in to War Factory straight away after the first ref, and then 3 refs after that, and then it's just a normal build queue pretty much after that 3rd ref. I was a little careless here and just capturing that oil derrick and then going for the FCOM and everything, and sending those 4 rifles, which are not enough to contest anything, but there's so many capturables on this map that I wasn't super concerned about it. But Creo makes a brilliant play here, and he sneaks a dog in the back, which kind of completely throws off my build a little bit, and I have to retreat all the way baback. And capturing that FCOM is actually super important for this build, or at least to do it correctly and what I want to do. So, fortunately, I have to go back and build a second engineer and another rifle. And I mean, that one rifle can still die to that dog since it's already vetted up now. So that's actually slowing me down significantly, but. Sorry, I'm gonna get my 5 light tanks and the ranger just snipe out rockets if I can. So don't see any dog there, so that's fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and capture that FCOM first, and then the power plant, since still don't need the extra power just yet. Although I actually should be capturing the power plant first, and he barely misses my engineer. I got so lucky there. Yeah, I even missed well close.
Insufficient funds.
Yeah, as you can see, I'm at 20 power. I should have definitely captured that power plant first. That was a dumb mistake on my part. And I'm somehow broke because I don't have an engineer, or I had to rebuild that engineer, so that's unfortunate. But it is actually helping me probably stay above power for a little bit. But as you can see, I'm still low power about half the seconds of the time that it should be, but that's okay. Second light tank's out, that third one's going to be coming out pretty shortly once that engineer captures that power plant. We're good. So you can see I've already harvested a lot of ore off of my main patch in the middle too, which kind of sucks, but everything's going smoothly now. But that dog definitely did set me behind a little bit. Not enough to hurt the rush in the long run, but definitely not the timing I want on this type of rush. The more quicker you can get it, the better it'll be. And one of the real strengths of this rush is you can go for and crush the army, which is, if you crush the army when there's only like 4 rockets and you don't lose any tanks, then you're pretty much free to do whatever you want. Or if they're out being aggressive and moving their army about, you could just snipe all their buildings, and it's a great way to get ahead that way. Or I mean, even worst case scenario, 5 light tanks will chew through a harvester rather quickly. So gonna get the second order here since I am still kind of stalling. I should be starting to be okay on cash now since I'm just building like a triple ref build. Starting my barracks a little bit too early there, but at the same time I do have the gem mines, so I was probably gonna be okay. 5 light tanks are out, that's cool. That means I can start moving out. The ranger's faster, so it'll catch up as soon as it's built. Sends in another dog, which is barely missing my rangers. I think it didn't see the light tanks either. And the light tanks are going in. I tried to get this ranger to shift down, but I guess I held shift too long and it went straight into his infantry, so that's unfortunate. Lost the ranger for nothing. Now I'm thinking this may be his only barracks. If I can kill that, I can stop the rocket production, stop this defense production, but I'm having some really bad crush luck here. Finally get the first rocket. Try to go in and poke the power plant a little bit. And then don't even get it because I'm still trying to run away from those rockets. Then I changed my mind, and now I'm going to go back to the SD, and then I go, nope, I should probably finish off that power plant, but that causes me to lose a light tank, and I'm still going to go in for the crushes now since it's got a lot of infantry there, and I still get pretty terrible crushes. I mean, I do eventually get 2 rockets, but this light tank rush is not working out really well. I got 1 power plant for 3 light tanks and a handful of rockets, so maybe I'm trading about even, but not ideal in any sort of means. Go down here, see he doesn't have a 3rd craft, that's cool. But these light tanks are not going to be able to kill that, and the flame tower instantly kills that light tank that was low health, so 1 light tank left that's just going to keep poking at him as much as it can, but it's pretty much dead, so I'm just going to run away. I should be doing okay on cash and army right now, so that's nice, but he kills my engineer on the top left. That's not nice. I kind of want that fill his pillboxes since he does have an APC back there. Now I don't have anything to protect my backline. And I have to sell a power plant, or a barracks rather, because I again screwed up and forgot to build another power plant. So this is I'm definitely off my game this one, just because that first dog kind of just threw me for a loop and quickly making me make dumb mistakes. He didn't capture that oil derrick back, which kind of sucks. There's nothing I can do about it. Gonna drop a pillbox in the back just so it's better protecting my FCOM back there, but again, I'm gonna have to deal with that ABC killing my engineer and all that stuff earlier rather than later. Now I'm building more barracks before I even move out. Probably should be moving pretty soon here, although you do have a bunch of extra money with the gem mine on this map, but that 4K float's definitely gonna disappear in just a second. Got another engineer out, and just gonna try to recap some oil derricks, capture some of those pillboxes because those are nice to guard your flanks in this map. Now that I got 2 medium tanks out, I'm feeling comfortable I can move out again. Again, 2 tanks minimum is where you want to move out, like a big army like that, I think. Gonna crawl forward with that main MCV. And I even built another ranger just to better get around and zoom around the battlefield. A little slow on placing that MCV, but that's okay. Killing the scout there, so he probably knows I have a big army there, but that's alright. Just kind of splitting off my army now, just kind of trying to hunt for his army, really. I should have the tank advantage, and maybe the army advantage, but that might be a little bit more debatable. Killing oil derrick, not significant on this map at all, just because there's so much ore. But losing a medium tank so early, not great, and I didn't see a huge army there, so Feeling pretty safe about the Ranger capturing that oil derrick. He shouldn't have APC exactly near it, but you never know. APCs are pretty fast too, so they can get over there. It takes a little while for engineers to capture. And of course, he snipes an engineer anyway, so that's unfortunate. And then I'm going to go back and make a third engineer because I really want these oil derricks. Even though, like I just said, they're not that important on this map at all. I would have been just better off capturing the pillboxes, but there's always a chance that he's already captured those pillboxes, so. Got the Ranger scouting for that oil derrick, which I see that he captured. And I got my third engineer on there. It should be pretty safe. Got the middle closed out. I got the engineer on the backside. I'm even moving over some army. Transferring some harvesters down. Only need the one transfer since I only have 4 harvesters in the main. But he sends out another scout that instantly dies, but at least he does find my army. Fortunately, that engineer is about to die because just terrible pathfinding on it. Decided to go super close. I'm actually pretty frustrated about that. Like, all I had to do was go on the top corner and the engineer would have been fine, but he decided he wanted to run right next to the oil derrick to capture, which, you know, that's something you should be better on top of. So now I'm building a 4th engineer, and this time I'm just kind of running it to the corner. Again, that's 4 engineers down, that's 1200. I mean, it's just stalling my infantry queues more than anything, but see that he's already here in the corner, and that's like fine because I have a pretty huge death ball here. Testicle is not great, but I still have enough to push in. I see him retreating, so I'm just going to go ahead and push in. Testicle has killed 1 medium tank, and then the second one dies just from some rifle fire. And once again, that engineer is capturing near the concrete. That's unfortunate. And then right here, I make a bad decision. I attack right next to the cliff, which separates all my tanks, which means he pretty much cleans up my army pretty handily here. Definitely traded out way better than I did. I do eventually get my tanks in front, which is going to save me just a little bit, but by then the rest of my army is pretty much dead, so this game's not looking great for me at all. Creo's pretty much just outplayed me, and now he's going to be able to base push on me. I'll be okay for a little bit. I do have some pillboxes in some good positions, and he's only got 1 tank, but my second war factory puts me low power, so that's not great. I have to sell a pillbox just to get back on full power since I actually need power right now. Slower building is definitely a bad time. Move my second MC out since I need to better protect this ore patch since this is my lifeblood right now. I can't really defend properly. My tanks are once again a little out of position, but sorry, I caught him in the retreat. Pillbox is just going to do its best just to snipe his back line. And I'm taking a decent trade here, but he's got a lot of army. I definitely lost so much more earlier. And that flame tower is doing really good burst damage. Finally, he's got too many heavy tanks for me there, and I lose that entire attachment on that right side. That turret is not where it needs to be. Really need the turret close to my harvester to kill all those tanks. Placing a power plant just for the extra vision, but I'm running out of steam right now. My army's pretty much gone, and he's got quite a big, and he's even tier 2 right now, so this is feeling very reminiscent of when I played Mint on this game, except for I'm on the receiving end of the base push right now. Gonna lose that MCV, try to back away, doesn't even get it away. And I'm down to 2 rifles, so I just go ahead and call it. So that's GG. I didn't even see the tank killing my harvester in the main, so that was extremely well played by Creo. My rush, I made some critical mistakes. Going low power when I didn't need to was pretty bad. Yeah, I was definitely frustrated with rush. Losing that ranger, like, I don't know if it comes across in the video, but I definitely tried to shift it down. I accidentally held shift on the waypoint and mistimed it, so it went right into the infantry and died, so that frustrated me. The light tanks just killed nothing, and I just put myself low power stupidly afterwards, so... But, you know, again, that all starts with Creo just sniping a dog, or sniping my engineer with a dog, which, you know, can, I guess, tilt me. So I'll have to be careful of that in the future, but we'll jump into the Sigil games next. Alright, we're back here for my final group stages, games of the season against Sigil on Tiaga Vortex. Again, I play this map against Duke Bones. It was my pick, and this is something I like to do towards the end of the season, just kind of play maps that didn't get played a lot. Just kind of familiarize myself with them in case they get picked in the playoffs or something like that. It's always best to know a map going into it rather than being blind. But once again, plan is just to do some simple double ref stuff. Barracks in the back just to get close to that oil derrick. Send a rifle up there just to see if I can snipe this oil derrick, and then kind of cover that FCOM in the middle with my rifles.
Unit ready.
So obviously first I want to make sure that I don't get my engineer stats on my ORA Ladder and then cover it, because it's eco is more important than having some extra base building in the beginning of the game, at least on this map. On some other maps maybe that FComp could be more important than oil. But I think the map that's kind of only done that with another map by me called Enthrall, where taking that FComp early like that could be really good, especially for like you had like your own FCOM and your opponent's FCOM, you could steal your opponent's FCOM. Something like Fazar's Light Tank Rush would be like beyond super effective there if you could actually pull it off. But that's easier said than done on a map like that anyways, and that's really the only map that has like really contestable FCOMs that I know of that's been competitive for at least a while. So that engineer is getting closer, kind of taking a really weird route there, but not super worried about it. Sigil is not very aggressive. He does play Soviets a lot, and I have seen him use dogs before, I think, but I'm not super concerned about him. He tries force firing to kill that rifle, which barely got away, but it just dies to a scouting rifle anyways. Nothing I can do there. I tried my best. I can go ahead and send some rifles and the medic over to the FCON just to get it better protected as soon as this engineer captures my oil derrick, which is kind of dangerous since it's right next to the oil, but again, I have that pretty well protected. He'd have to come from a very weird angle to get to that oil, or rather the barrel. Getting some rockets out a little bit earlier than I really need to, but you never know. Sigil does like his Ore Factory first builds, I think. He's a little bit more passive, a little bit more of a long player. I think he'd be like a really good player if he actually had the time to play OpenRA, but he's kind of always perennially rusty, just because I play RAGL and that's about it. He's being really bold here and trying to capture my FCOM, but he's actually winning, barely, but he doesn't move his rifles, and I managed to snipe his engineer, so that was extremely close. Had he captured that, that'd actually be pretty important. He could just stop defenses there, and that'd probably be GG, which not expected on this map at all. So I think people early diving that FCOM could totally be a thing if they play this map more. But I think it only got played like maybe 4 times in Masters, so. But yeah, I'm building some more rifles early just so I can better push this, since I really want that FCOM. I build the light tank first just to make sure I have the armor advantage. But see some rifles going in there, and you know, I'm gonna send my rifle tanks out, see if I can get some good crushes. There's a few rockets there, so chances are I'm gonna lose this light tank, but fortunately I get the perfect crush, get all the rockets, and the light tank is gonna get out scot-free, so I can pretty much go back in, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, he's gonna finish off the oil derrick, but he's gonna cost him all of his rifles and a flak to do so. Well, the flak's actually barely gonna get away, that's alright. You know, I'll take that trade, I guess, earn oil derrick for all of his early rockets and half his early army. That's more than enough for my opinion. Got my third RAF out now, so I can really start cranking out those infantry production as soon as I get onto it. Which, there I go, a little bit slow. Doing 10-5 a little bit, just so I can catch up on the rocket density, since I know I'm a little bit behind there. But yeah, the engineer rather, is going to go all the way to the back, just see if I can. Might scout with the ranger, see if I can pick off any scouts that people like to leave on the edge. And then just kind of back half that back oil, since people can forget about it. Got my second racks out, so that SD is going to be coming along nicely. And I guess something screwed up, that I had a third light tank, or rather a third light vehicle come out, which is not typical, and my SD is still even delayed, so something definitely slowed down. It was probably just the extra rifles that I had to build, and a little slow on placing down buildings because of his early pressure on my FCOM. But my ranger scouts his backline, haven't seen anything yet, so that's good. It's going to be free from a NG to get there. It looks like he didn't even recognize there was a oil in the back, which is, again, why it's nice to familiar yourself with the map so you don't get the orb excuse like that of, I didn't know there was an oil on this map, which one oil is not going to change the game that much. 2 or 3 definitely can, but, you know. See him trying to scout him right there, so I'm like, cool, that's a free rifle. Gonna go back and kill the other rifle that I barely saw too. So that's 2 free scouts that I denied him. And the ranger's definitely doing his job. Gonna expand to the double mine first, because you always should go towards some more money. Gonna send that harvester back, and then all the way up there, so it doesn't waste time with the eco transfer. Especially since I am kind of stalling right now, but it's totally fine. Flak's gonna go in and pressure. Not too scared about losing my IMSV there. It should be alright. It's gonna play. Fortunately, those rifles are going to get picked off, and I see that he's got quite a significant presence over there. That's alright, I'm already pushing on his left side, so we're probably doing something really weird right now. Only difference is I was able to find his escape where he's going towards my main, which is probably a bad idea on his part. The FCOM right there is going to keep me alive for a little bit longer. And now I'm just pushing into his main base, got my pillbox down. I'm just going to try to snipe out the rockets I can. He tries to retreat, he's going to suffer some casualties, so all he really killed is an FCOM, whereas I got an MCV, and I'm about to get his war factory. He pulls all of his harvesters, so I give a stop command, and he's actually getting some decent pressure right here, but all my backups were in the rockets were in the back left, so I killed 2 of his harvesters now. There goes the 3rd one, and I still have a light tank, 2 light tanks actually alive there. So I can move back and finish that off, that war factory, which I think he was just broke at this point for some reason, or he expanded the wrong way. Maybe just didn't get the expo ref off because it killed him severely, so looking pretty bad for him right now. He gets the flame tower out, and I just retreat that army since it's running low on its juice. But I'll just kind of cycle him back towards my base, maybe heal up the light tanks, and then send it right back out. But this army on the right side, not super threatening. It does have 3 medium tanks, but it's not a lot of true presence. So, and then he decides to try to hunt down my army, but just doesn't have the numbers there, and I have more than enough to trade out there happily. Just gonna attack move those guys through and take out really good engagement there, honestly. And eventually that army's going to get cleaned up, but it definitely served its purpose. And my attack through the top sees it doesn't have an expansion there, so I'm like, cool, that's great. That means he's on 1 base right now, which is not great for him at all. His harvester looks like it's stalled out there. I'm not sure why. Maybe that's why he was struggling so hard earlier. Just ordered a movement command, which totally can happen. And again, Sigil is usually pretty rusty, so that's something that maybe it's affected him. Got another attrition ref out. I'm just going to go ahead and take his double mine just in case he tries to expand back there. That'll probably pretty much seal the game for me. Engineer's just going to do engineer things, try to cap the barracks if he can. Poking away refinery because why not, and then the power plant just to see if I can slow him down a little bit. I don't really feel comfortable engaging with this army until I see nothing but infantry, and I'm like, alright, cool, well, I'll sack that army because I got the second one coming in. And yeah, he just doesn't have the rocket density to deal with all those tanks. 1 tank left, and I still have just enough. And then there's a harvester there trying to tank for him, but it's looking pretty bleak for him right now. Stole his double mine. I have more than enough back at my base. The engineer, he's trying to crush it with the harvester. I'm still trying to capture that barracks, just dancing around each other. And once again, just pushing through what infantry presence he has. Engineer finally gets squished on top, and I decide to kill his MCV, but he calls it GG. So yeah, it didn't work out so well for Sigil. He had some mistakes there, not capturing that, or their comeback was not great. The attack on F-Comp was pretty bad, and then just I caught his expansion MCV all alone, unprotected, which is never a good sign. And yep, we'll jump into game 2.
Battle control initialized.
Alright, back here from game 2 on Bad Company. Once again, this was a pretty popular map, more popular than I expected it to be. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it is better than Intensity, a little bit better eco, a little bit more fun to play with, and I think just a better layout than Intensity. Gonna try to use a dog to snipe an early engineer just because I can, and you know, it's relatively safe. It's $300 investment just for, you know, killing something $400 that most people are gonna go engineer first, not protect their early since it is so close. They're not expecting a dog to show up in their face and munch on an engineer.
Construction complete.
Sometimes just gonna go ahead and capture mine and build some rifles, nothing too fancy, just double ref build on this map. Double ref cell does not work out so great, so I probably won't do that, even though I did build the kennel, so I'm just gonna be behind an extra 6 seconds, but that's alright. Engineer's out and I'm capturing my stuff. Dog's in good position, just kind of looking, waiting to see if I see an engineer coming. And I don't see anything actually, I don't see rifles, engineer, anything. And I'm even poking in a little bit, because that's kind of weird. That kind of accused me that maybe he's grand rushing or something like that. So I'm just going to leave some rifles back by my power plant, and then just retreat that dog, and I'll just go ahead and rush some rifles forward and see if I can double cap the oil derricks. Since if he doesn't have any infantry presence, I might as well just take both. That's why like early scouting and stuff like that is actually really good, so this dog is more than paid for itself, honestly, just by that scouting information. Got a nice stack of rifles next to my barracks, or my power plant rather, just in case those grenadiers do show up. And then I'm going to send 1 rifle just to kind of scout the flanks, because that's likely where grenadiers are going to be running just to get into position. But my rifles are next to my dog. I'm going to pull my dog back just so it's not in the front of that 5 stack. You always want it in the back, away from your enemy, just it's not the first thing to get shot. So that dog is in great position right there. Engineer is slowly getting there, and I send another rifle up to the top just to do kind of the same thing my rifle's doing on the bottom. Fixing my harvs a little bit, and then setting my second power plant next to all my 7 rifles. So the only thing that's going to kill me is like 20 grenadiers showing up, and even then I think 7 rifles probably beats 20 grenadiers. And if you did like a 20 grenadier rush and it worked, like bravo. But I captured the oil derrick, so I'm going to start pushing in. I finally see an infantry presence, so I'm like, alright, that's cool. Well, I'll just slowly walk forward with my dog. You know, I'll kill off these rifles. I'm 1 to run right now, but then of course my dog gets too far forward because the dogs are faster, and I die, but still take a better trade there, or at least an even trade, and then it just pulls the rifles back to my oil derrick, since if he wants to capture it, he'll have to go through me. But I pull it back just a little bit more since I don't want him right on top. Kind of want him to think that I not have a presence there, just retreat it away. That way if he goes in there first, or just 2 rifles, I can snipe him with the disadvantage. Once again, trying to readjust my harv since they always like to go somewhere they're not supposed to. He's got a flak out, that's fine. I got a 5 stack, but yeah, I'm gonna try to slowly crawl in, kill that rifle because that's really the threat there. Flaks take forever to kill infantry, and I do snipe his engineer, and that rifle is not gonna get away. Well, actually it does. So what was that? 7 rifles for an engineer and a rifle. So what? $100 behind? It's not bad at all. Built a quick NPC too, just in case he wants to go for a second engineer, because that flak will do nothing, and that APC will easily kill that engineer. It's super annoying. This is kind of reminding me of what Creo did to me with constantly losing engineers and how quickly it can frustrate you. I do see the engineer captain, but I'm more concerned about setting up my rifles. Kill the engineer. Perfect. Gonna go and kill some rifles while I'm at it. Just gonna go for some swishing. Don't see any rockets, so I'm just free to snack on those rifles with my APC. I'm just going to target some of them down, get a good crush on the one, get 2 more right there. Alright, he's probably got a rifle or rocket coming out, so I'm just going to retreat the APC. It's not his job, it's killed 2 engineers, a few rifles, more than enough. Went with the SD before my second rack, just again, because I want that MCV out a little bit quicker so I can expand a little quicker. Almost blocks the harv there, but does not, and then his flak is gonna get a good scout on my base, so he knows exactly what I've got. He's probably gonna see the normal double rough build, killing my second oil derrick because he realizes he probably can't capture it, which is probably smarter than his idea, but it always hurts to lose an oil derrick so close to your base. Trying to block my southern refinery, and I mean, he's gonna get it for a few seconds, but I do have a flame tower coming up, so it should be alright. Except for I canceled my flame tower and just let my rifles kill it just because I was stalling anyways. That's alright. Got an APC up at the top, ready to do something kind of like I did with the Nano, since I know I'm already putting the pressure on him. Might as well just keep it up. I like to place my racks down by that extra F just in case he does have an attack through there. I have a closer racks for it. Getting that set up, and I see, oh, an MCV. Perfect. Love to see it. Can't even deploy it since my rifle is right there. Just gonna keep blocking with my APC, keep chasing it down with my rifles. He's gonna get pushed back all the way to his base here. It's probably gonna get away as soon as I see all those other rifles, but no, that's okay. I'm gonna sacrifice that APC. Barely dies. And I'm taking a okay trade here. I mean, it's not great. He's got the gauge advantage, but I think I had a little bit more rifles than he did, so you know, I'll take that. It's going to delay his expansion. He's not going to be able to get out at another ref. He's going to stall really shortly right now, and I kept a lot of my army alive there. So I'm in a really good position here. I'm just going to sit on top of that ore field in case he does want to try to expand there. Yeah, see a flak, so that kind of has to be engaged. I can't just let him poke away at me. He moves his flak out of his range, but removes his army away, so I managed to get another good trade there. It's not great. At the same time, I'm going to rotate more to the bottom left, just in case that's where he's going to try to counterattack. Engineer is going to just go ahead and try to snipe something, runs into a heavy tank. It's fine, I got a heavy tank there. I'm going to pull all my stuff back. Re-rally all my stuff to the bottom. Kind of forgot about that second heavy tank that's just chilling by my ore field, but it's alright. Finally remember it, and just backing up now again. I've already known I'm in a great position. His eco is probably in shambles. Probably just now has an expansion ref at his bottom if he's expanded there at all. or he might have gone to the middle. Either way, you know, I know I'm ahead there.
Unit ready. Unit
I'm gonna move my main MCV to the middle a little blindly, but I'm not super worried about it. He's probably playing very defensively, so I'm gonna be a little bit more reckless with my macro right up.
Unit ready.
Getting that second tank in position, so it's gonna have a nice concave. I'm gonna go ahead and push in. MC is gonna deploy, and I'm yeah, just gonna go to double war factory into tech. So that's usually a good sign that I'm pretty far ahead if I want to do double war factory into tech. So there's a harvester there, so I said okay, try to expand there again.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
I'm gonna get one of them at least, but at the very least I'm gonna have a really good angle of attack here, killing all of his infantry. And there's that wounded MCV. Flame Tower instantly goes down, just gonna kill that MCV while I can. Once again, he's pulling all of his harvesters. Not really getting, actually I take it back, he's getting great crushes, but loses the MCV, he's going to lose at least a few of those harvesters, and I got a pretty big significant force coming from reinforced mine. One of my tanks is still alive, going to get a harvester on the way out, that's always good, that's going to slow us down even more, and once this backup army gets there, that'll probably be more than enough for me. I'm gonna try to sneak this tank away. I realize that he's chasing me with that one, but I can win that battle. So it's gonna engage it and keep walking away. Kill this tank perfect. See if I can get back into this backline ore field. And I'm just gonna attack him right in his expansion again. Yeah, he's probably gonna have all of his assets there, but at this rate, if I can just keep him pinned there, then I'll probably win out through attrition. Looks like the war factory is about to come online. Those heavy tanks will be firmly in my number. I'm gonna put in a closer second rally towards base, but he has a heavy tank on the back line, that's alright. That tank's not going to get away. I'm just going to hit him in his main now, and I'll probably close out this game if Sigil can't defend, which, depending on where his army is, it's probably very likely he's going to be dead. There's an 8 stack of rifles, but that's not going to do anything with my heavy tanks in good position. So they instantly go down, killing his heavy tanks with my heavy tanks. And I'm firmly in the middle of his base, and there's no real threat to me right now, so it's not looking good for him at all. Finally, there comes some of his infantry and army, but it's not significant enough. His tanks work in the front anyways, so he loses quite a significant amount there. His tanks go down since I'm pretty well protected, and he goes in and calls the GG, so that closes it out for the group stages. As it turns out, me, Cav, and Fazara all tied in games 1 and lost, but I ended up with a strike, so I got auto 4th. And Creo managed to just split with all 3 of us, so he was like, I think 14 and 3 or something like that. So he got to take first, and then technically Fazar and Cav should have played a like tiebreaker to see who was second and third, but it really doesn't matter since they're going to face each other in the playoffs. But yeah, that's kind of the stand at the end of the season, and then next week we'll get into the semifinals with me and Creo.